A joint venture lawyer is a lawyer who puts together a temporary business alliance between two parties that come together to take advantage of the other's abilities to do something productive and earn profits from the business collectively. Since it is a temporary setup and lasts for a few weeks or a few months or a few years, it usually does not require a permanent registration such as a partnership, LLC, corporation, or other business entity. The cumbersome process of making the joint venture, or JV, official is unnecessary and it's avoidable using the right joint venture lawyer. However, in recent times, a lot of construction projects are being accomplished with the help of long-term joint ventures, which take relatively more time to complete than the usual joint ventures. It's always a good idea to have a business attorney review the relationship so that the terms and conditions are contained in your written agreement. Often, a joint venture is a contractual relationship, meaning you are making a contract with another party. If you are planning to engage in a joint venture, a business attorney can draft and negotiate the contract to your liking. If you are already in a joint venture, an attorney can review the contract and inform you of your legal rights and responsibilities. An attorney can also help you solve a dispute if a joint venture goes sour. The first thing you should do, if you haven't already, is get something in writing that you both sign. Don't do a business on a handshake. It is simply just too risky. The two ways to maintain accounts in joint venture are as follows. First, you can use the same set of books of account. Here, both parties involved in the joint venture record their transaction in the same set of books of accounts. This is not very convenient and can be difficult. The second option is to use separate sets of books or accounts. Both parties maintain complete books of accounts based on their individual transactions, which are compared at the end of the joint venture alliance or when profits need to be distributed. This is to conclude the profits or losses, if any, between them. The term joint venture is implicit enough to mean that each party is involved assumes a specific task in the business to make things more convenient and prompt. Therefore, if the one participating lives near the transportation area, then that party assumes the responsibility of sending the products to the other party. The other party receives the goods and takes responsibility to sell it since it has an advantage over the market access. In order to keep sufficient records of the transactions and actions taken by the two parties, they should maintain proper books of accounts so they can be tallied at the end of the venture. Your written agreement should set forth how expenses are paid, what expenses are paid, and how net profit will be divided. Yes, you do need a written joint venture agreement or contract. You'll regret it if you do not. Also, make sure you use a special ledger in the bookkeeping or accounting that should be maintained in a separate joint venture accounting book to make things easier. Each party involved in the venture needs to maintain this book so that in the end, both books can be compared to understand the debit and credit transactions made by them. Once this analysis is made, a memorandum statement or joint venture agreement is made to understand which party owes what amount to whom, or how the profits are split between the parties. Sometimes joint ventures have unequally split or unequally divided profits at the end. This memorandum is taken as the guide to prepare the final joint venture account separately in the books of each venture to see how the profit or loss has turned out. If all transactions were recorded accurately from the beginning until the end, the final account should reflect equal balances in both the venture's accounts, except on opposite sides of the ledger to show who owes money to who and how the profits are to be paid. The memorandum for joint venture, this is created just for the sake of convenience to make the final accounts easier for all parties to understand. It can't be categorized under any specific book of accounts for one party or for the other. It is mainly to record the debit and credit balances of each venturer. If you know that you need help with your joint venture, or if you're about to get started in a joint venture agreement, call Ascent Law for your free consultation. 801-676 5506. We regularly help businesses stay compliant and draft contracts for their protection. We look forward to hearing from you right away.